we would need ships. And I had been out of action for long enough.
Okay, we've got a man of very few words here today. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing with the Vikings campaign, and today we are playing as the Warlord. He's looking very strong, very short and stocky compared to some of the other characters we're playing, but that's okay. Height isn't everything. As a short person, well, as an average height person myself, I have come to terms with the fact that I won't always be able to reach the ketchup off the top shelf. So let's continue on with the mission. But before the real action kicks off, we're gonna throw this person off the ledge. Get your ass out of here. Gotta finish the introduction. So before we continue on with the real action, today's topic is brought to you by Joseph Rupek. He requested that we talk about space, the final frontier, and the universe and the multiverse. Those are pretty heavy topics, and we're gonna dive right into them after this little cutscene.
Odin's beard.
Hey, how did he get over here? He's an intruder.
These Blackstones have done a poor job.
I'm pretty sure that arrow completely missed that the guy shot over here. But yeah, those are fun topics because I do like space and science fiction. My favorite genre is science fiction. The Sci-Fi Channel is awesome. It used to be less awesome, but it's grown into a pretty big thing, and Shark Week, Sharknado, all that stuff. Ah, gosh, it's fantastic. But space, it's a deep topic. It's a deep topic. Aliens, do they exist? Do they not exist? And the answer to that question is they freaking have to. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if you don't believe aliens exist, then you're wrong. There's no possible way that aliens don't exist, because that is madness. I think it's absolutely crazy to believe that there can't possibly be aliens. Because how? How could there not be aliens? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I thought that wasn't gonna work for some reason. You know, and one thing that always kind of bugs me with space is that shit. Hold on, I'm getting my ass kicked. Give me a second. Okay. Get your ass out of here with that. Stupid spinning that flail around all ridiculous. So one thing that's always bugged me about space, and this is not a real problem with space, is just the fact that it's so... It's hard to get to it, you know? It's really high up, you know? That's probably the dumbest thing that I've ever said. But yeah, the fact that it's such a difficult to reach kind of thing, I can guarantee you that in my lifetime I'm never gonna get to go to space, and that's something that I wish that I could do, and that's why I say that's something that bothers me about it, and it's kind of like Europe. You know, Europe feels very far away to me right now because I'm broke. And so many of my friends want to travel. Let's get a plane ticket, go to California, visit our buddy who moved there a couple years ago. And I'm sitting over here like, bruv, I can barely afford a fucking bus ticket. I can barely afford a Metro card right now. And I'm getting my ass kicked. Oh, no, I can barely afford a Metro card right now. You want me to get on a plane to go to California, man? Priorities. We got to think priorities, right? So that's something that's always bothered me about space, is that it's this unattainable, unreachable thing for the general public, for the most part. Well, yeah, for the general public, because unless you're a millionaire and you can buy a ticket on the next space shuttle, then when are you going to get to see the Earth from that different perspective, have your mind woken up? Excuse me, sir, I'm talking about space. Don't interrupt me. So it's a crazy thing, but that's why I think science fiction is so important, or sci-fi shows are so important for us to have, because it allows us to, as regular people, just imagine and live in this other space that we won't necessarily get to travel to. And I do realize saying other space is a pun when talking about space, but it's fine. I was having flashbacks to the previous mission. I thought another Molotov was coming down on me, but it wasn't. My heart stopped a little bit. Oh, crap. No. How dare you? So, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Once the Blackstones were pushed out of Valkenheim, the Vikings would put their shipwrights and their lumber mills back to work. And then they would need a target. The Vikings had built up their settlements and shipyards over decades, centuries. It took a little more than a year for it all to fall into disrepair. The Vikings like to tell stories about why they decorate their ships with monsters. But the simplest explanation is the best one. They do it to frighten their enemies.
Okay, we are back. So, right, like I was saying, the thing you got to realize about science fiction is that, ooh, nice, he stepped in the fire, is that it, ooh. I wasn't ready for that at all. It allows us as a person that is never going to experience space in any capacity to experience it, and it lets the common man dream a little bit, because otherwise we don't get to see that there's more stuff out there, man. There's a bigger world. There's more things to explore. We're not just stuck on this ball of rock and water floating around in this empty thing. There's other creatures out there, man. There's the aliens, man, and we can get them to come here if we make our planet better or whatever. But you kind of get my point, and that's why I think science fiction is cool. That's why I think space is cool, because it lets us dream about bigger things, and in sort of the same way religion does. But religion is a pretty dense topic. There's so much going on with that. We're not going to get into that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. The multiverse stuff, I get it, but it's really weird to me. The Flash has a lot of stuff on it talking about the multiverse and multiple realities and all that stuff. And I'm not saying I don't believe it, because for damn sure there's a version of me out there somewhere that is a multi-billionaire, and that's the hope that I hold on to. But it starts to get crazy when you start thinking about time travel and going back and changing things. Then you come back and all of a sudden your best friend is your mortal enemy, and he's killed your mom, and or whatever types of craziness happens with time travel. Oh, wait a minute now. We got my man over here in the golden armor.
Odin's spear.
But time travel, it makes sense though. I want to say that I believe that it's a possibility, that it could be real. But when the closest thing I can relate to time travel and the multiverse and all that stuff is the fact that when I record these, sometimes I'll have to record the same mission multiple times, and when I do that, I end up with a no. I thought he was gonna throw me into the spikes. You spared me. I will not be so kind. But every time I have to record multiple episodes, it comes out a little bit different every time. So that's almost like a multiverse thing.
Those Blackstones had quite a haul. Where did these come from?
Samurai ships, washing up all summer long, full of this junk.
The samurai!
They're weak. We outnumber them 10 to 1.
And they've had a good year!
The second box was empty, so their year must have not been that good.
We're gonna need a fleet. It was time for
War cry. Oh man, it's over already. Shit. Okay. So I gotta go back and get some observables because that mission was way shorter than I was expecting it to be. But I guess while I go to look for some observables, I will continue rambling a little bit until I find the first one. But yeah, so the whole multiverse concept. Every time I have to redo a recording, the conversation is slightly different than it was the first time around. So it's this weird, if I change one thing about how I did the mission, all of a sudden the rest of the mission plays out differently, and so does the conversation. So in a strange way, you guys don't actually realize that this is the 5th or 6th time that I've done this mission. So the changes that have happened in the conversation, you don't know about them. But me, I'm the one that's changing. I'm fucking with the timeline. So it's essentially what I'm saying is I am the Flash, and I'm messing with the timeline, but you guys are all my friends, and you don't realize that I'm making these drastic changes. Like Joseph Rupek, maybe in this timeline, you asked me to talk about candy and ice cream instead of space and the multiverse, and this whole episode will be something completely different. Now, that's obviously not what's going to happen, but I think I just did a fantastic job of explaining the whole concept of time travel and multiple timelines. So if you got a friend and they're watching The Flash and they're having trouble grasping the concept of multiple timelines, just explain to them that it's basically like restarting a level in a video game. And if you, I don't know. I lost my train of thought and I can't find any observable. Where the hell are they? Is this breaking the immersion at all? Well, this is kind of cool that there are multiple ways to go on this mission. But since this is going a little bit long, I suppose I can talk now about why the Vikings campaign isn't as good as the other ones. Because we're going along this path and we're not getting any sense of motivation for the Vikings other than we're Vikings and we need to raid people. And granted, we are taking back a shipyard that is under Blackstone control that used to be a Viking shipyard, but still, at the end of the day, the main driving force for the Vikings is we must raid because we are Vikings. And that is a boring motivation. At least with the Warden, the motivation was, okay, I had to do this dual bullshit with Daubeny, and I beat the other guy, so I was forced into joining the Blackstones or watch all of the people in the Iron Legion get murdered. And where the hell are the observables? Come on, there's got to be one for the boat. Okay, so we found all the observables, and we're getting a little bit of extra today because I may as well beat the mission again, because why not? Just to drive home the whole concept of the multiverse and multiple endings. This time, I'm gonna knock him into... There you go. The alternate ending has been confirmed. I did that on purpose, obviously, but we're gonna wrap it up here. No. Quit the world map. So there. On that note, we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna be back on Thursday if you're watching this on the day it comes out. So stay tuned for later in the week. We got more For Honor. We're doing mission 2.4 of the Vikings campaign. And we got a little bit more to go until they're almost finished, and yeah, then we'll move on to the samurais and continue to have a good time. So again, if you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching all the way through. But more importantly, if there is something that you'd like me to talk about, please feel free to leave it in the comments, and I will get to it as soon as possible. There are a couple of other requests that I wrote down on a piece of paper that I should have had more That's not it's the wrong paper. Shit. Well, look, I wrote it down somewhere. There's a couple of other people that made suggestions, and I'm gonna do those in the coming episodes. So if you have a suggestion, there's a bunch of slots left, and there will be other playthroughs in the future in which I will have time to ramble about different topics. So there you go. Name of the game is For Honor. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.